Welcome to Model 8. I am so happy for having with you all this process, for these 7 models that we just developed, and for this model that you are letting me share with you at this moment. This is the last model. And let me tell you now that I feel so proud of you for have taken this time, that treasure asset that you have, that is time, just for you to create a new path for your wealth and for your better you. I am so grateful. I know that you have taken all those actions that by this moment have made you and build you in a so much extraordinary version. You had identified where do you come from, where you are right now, and where do you really want to go. Now, I know for sure that you are becoming the driver of your life and that you're going to take all these techniques that we shared in the past models just to become your better self in every aspect of your life. You are going to become that richness human being and empower of your finances, but not just in this area, but you are going to make sure that you're going to use all those techniques to become your highest expression in almost every area of your life. So today in model 8, I will discuss with you what is it the right system, what is it that we have to do in order to continue this process of self-growth, continue this process of becoming masters in our finance and the well empowerment of our goals toward what we want. So the lesson number 1 is discovering the power of teaching what we know. I love that quote of Maya Angelou, and it has resonated with me so much since the first time that I listened it. Every time you learn, you teach. Every time you learn, you teach. This is one of the most powerful things that I have learned, and I have tried to practice in almost every single area of my life. When I met my husband many years ago, he was just finishing to buy his first house. When he told me about all the credit card, all the interest rates in the credit statements, then I used the moment to just try to make him visualize how much interest he was going to pay around the 20 years of the loan, and how much he can save if he start to pay that house earlier. And this was going to be the right movement because it was his house. He was not rented a house, it was a house where he lives. So the better for him was to pay that loan the fastest. And he has to make many changes in his life. But the most remarkable part for me was that I could use every single moment that I had to use the knowledge that I have acquired through my studies and through all my heroes in finance, through my growing process, to create great impact on all those that I know. And even those that I didn't know, but they want my advice. Use that moment to create impact on others, to your families, if they want to. Don't try to impose it to them, but you can start to become that lining in others. Use it to teach it to your students, or use it to teach it to your kids. Use this knowledge to pass it to your family members, to your relative if they need a kind of support. Because every time that you start to do this, you are going to become better for me was just a process that enhanced me. Who do I really wanted to be? And what was the use that I was going to give to all this knowledge that I got in schools? Because I did not want to become an expert on managing the finances of others and no experts on managing my own finances. So just the moments that I used to teach it to kids from school, to teach it to my husband, to my family, to speak about this with my friends, and how could I become an inspiring people or person for them was so remarkable important for me, and remind me that I can use this to serve, but also it was going to give me a lot of inner confidence and empowerment, and it was going to remind me every day that I was going to use it in a positive way, but I was going to be empowered of my own finances, of my own future. In every single moment I was going to go focusing on the goals that I wanted to reach. I create the right system. And part of the right system that you have to create is find a way that you can use everything that you have learned here to teach it to somebody else. Because if we don't use the power of teaching, we're going to forget. So find a way that you can do this teaching and find a way to just maintain the refreshing of all this knowledge. So what are the actions that I want you to take in this first lesson? Is that number one, find your community. Create your own community around money, finances, growth. Start to create that community with the closest that are into you, like your family, of your kids, your friends. Find that community and start to speak about these themes. Start to just never be afraid again to speak about money, creating the right philosophy and creating the right technique so you get in control of your money. Number two, continue using the power of your wealth creation journal so you can confront yourself, your emotions, the way that you feel about feeling how the system is going on, if it's working on for you, if you need adjustments, and how you're going to use your daily statements in order for you to reach the goals that you want. And number three, remind yourself that it's so important for you to continue your learning process, to read the books, to read the articles, to read the persons or the to hear the gurus that you have, the heroes that you have around this topic. Remember to choose those that are more alike to your values and to who you are and to what you want, which means that if you're going to choose a person, it has to be someone that inspires you so much, not just because of the creation of money or wealth, but because they have abundance in almost every single area of their life. So practice these actions, live these actions, and focus your mind on the service that you can create, the impact that you can create in other human beings. Because if you can change at least one human being with all the information that I have shared with you, I know for sure that we are creating more than one impact in the human life. Because when we change at least one human, we're going to change that person, and that person is going to create great impact in his environment and in his future generations. So it's not just about one, it's about lifting up entire communities. So I hope you're doing all these practices, all these actions, and start to teach what you have learned.